Okay, so imagine putting all the work into nursing school, all the stress, all the hours, all the sleepless nights, everything, just to find out that your teacher didn't submit your grades. So now you're stuck and you can't take the state test. Yes, guys, that's exactly what happened to someone in my family, and I'm still upset about it for them. What the heck? All right, guys, so let's go ahead and dive into this story of today's cold coffee tells, where the coffee has gone cold or the ice has completely melted. Let's get into it. Okay, guys, so this is how it all went down. So, my family member graduated from nursing school, and by that I mean all the clinicals done, all the exams. They fully graduated from nursing school. All that was left to be done was to take the state test, okay? So, as we're waiting, anticipation, it's building, it's building. Once they graduate, they know any day they're gonna get an email saying this is your date that you're gonna take the state test. So days go by, then a couple weeks, and then my family member was talking to one of their friends that just happened to go to the same school, right? Well, in talking to this friend, the friend had just casually brought out that they were getting ready to take the state test. Now, they're just in a little prep. Long story short, this is when my family member starts to freak out. And I don't blame them. As soon as I heard, I started to freak out. So we immediately knew something is wrong when their friend had already gotten the date that they were set to take the test, but they hadn't heard anything. Okay, so immediately we're like, okay, you need to call the school like now. Okay, the only problem with this is that this was on a Friday. Okay, so this is on a Friday afternoon. As you know, school admin isn't there all day on Fridays, okay? And sometimes even on the weekdays, they leave early. That's just how it is. That's how it is when you're making the big bucks, right? Okay, I guess. I don't know. I don't make them, so I'm just assuming. Anyhow, so they call the school, and the school says, okay, yeah, we'll look into it. Okay, next day goes by, and this whole weekend, we are all stressing. And we're all thinking, okay, we know you graduated, we know you passed, we know the grades that you had in it. What is going on? Like, there's something missing, like, we don't understand. So Monday afternoon, we finally decide, hey, you know what? You need to call again. So my family member calls the school again. And they say, oh, wait, you know what? We see one of the teachers didn't submit your grade. Girl, I just about lost it. How are you not going to submit a student's grade? No, no. I am one to always give the benefit of the doubt. But this is not a report card, guys. Like, what? This is not just some simple, you know, middle school or even a history report. This isn't some type of small, no. This is somebody's livelihood. They're waiting to take the state test in order to actually start working as a nurse. By the way, congrats to all of you nurse grads out there and any other grads. You know, being a family member that has supported somebody through it, I see it. I give kudos to all that work in healthcare, so just my 2 seconds on that. Anyway, back to the story. So, yes. So then they say, okay, well, that person can't fix it though. And then they say, oh, well, actually, only the assistant admin or director of the school can actually update this. And by the way, they're not going to be in until Wednesday. Guys, oh my gosh, like, are we joking? Is this some sort of sick joke? I don't know. So then Wednesday comes. Finally, they show. And by the way, let me also say this. all of these instructors and the director, they have access to all of the schools' websites, all the grading online at home. Now, I know everyone's entitled to vacation, but again, this wasn't at my family member's fault. This was a fault of the school's faculty. I just didn't understand. Anyway, so finally they get it all straightened out and they just submitted it. Okay, that now my family member is like 3 weeks behind the rest of their class and even taking the state test. By the way, the state test doesn't even, it's not an immediate thing. You just scheduled it at random. So frustrating because then, that's the process of the state test. Okay, that's fine. But then make it as easy as possible for those students waiting to take the state test. It just didn't make sense. Luckily, my family member was able to get it all straightened out, and we're just waiting. But meanwhile, it's very stressful and knowing, dang, all these other people have already taken it. And honestly, looking back on it, it was a good thing that my family member just happened to be talking with their friend. Because had they not, we would have never have known. Never have known. Or who knows how much longer it would have taken for us to find out. Maybe another month, because we were just trusting that everything was submitted correctly and waiting to hear from the state. So let me know what you guys all think. So now I'm curious, have any of you guys ever experienced anything like this with a teacher, a school, where they just completely dropped the ball and have given zero apologies? Let me know in the comments below. And if you guys like the video, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out. And stay tuned for next week's episode on Cold Coffee Tales. Thanks, guys. Bye.